pleased to be joined by Alyssa Manley, member of the 2015 SU women's field hockey team that won the national championship. She will have her jersey retired on Friday. The team and Alyssa will be honored Saturday at the Syracuse Duke football game, and she joins us now. Alyssa, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations on the honor. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Yeah, I'm doing well.
All right. So let's just start with this recognition in general. I heard you talking yesterday that you haven't been back on campus probably in 6 years or so, back before the pandemic, 2019. So I guess how much are you looking forward to coming back, and what does this honor mean to you personally?
I'm really excited to be back. It's going to be really nice being back with so many of my teammates that I haven't seen in years. Some of them I might not have seen literally since I graduated, which is wild to think about now. It feels like time is flying. But yeah, it means a lot to be able to go back and celebrate with them too, all the accomplishments that we had while we were there together. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Alyssa, do you remember where you were when you found out, or you got the call or whatever it was, that your jersey was going to be retired? And what was the emotions in that moment when you found out that number 5 jersey is going to be honored?
I was actually at the gym, and I had gotten a call from John Wildack, and I felt so honored. I couldn't believe it. It's such an honor. It felt really surreal, and it still honestly kind of feels surreal that it's happening. And like, even thinking back on the national championship, like, that still feels surreal to me. So it's really nice to get the honor, and I wouldn't have been able to be in this place without all my teammates and everybody that went before me at Syracuse. So it means a lot, and I'm happy to have created a legacy that can be carried on there as well.
When you look back on that 2015 season, you guys were so dominant. You lost just the one game, right, in the ACC tournament to North Carolina, and then avenged that loss, in the NCAA tournament. What comes to mind when you think back on 2015? Was it the national championship? Was it a different moment along the way, whether it was a game or practice or a moment that maybe we're not aware of?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit there. Will you just repeat that question?
Just wondering what comes to mind for you when you look back on 2015, that season. Is there a moment or a game or something that I guess comes to mind? Is it the national championship that comes to mind first?
I think it's really easy to think of the national championship, but I think just across the whole entire season, like, we had so much belief in ourselves the whole season from day one preseason. Like, we really believed that we had a shot, and we didn't get too wrapped up with being like, oh, we're going to be there, we're going to win it. Like, we knew that we had to go through the season. We had to play our matches day by day, training and stuff, to really build to that point. But we really felt that we could do it. And I think we really showed that throughout the whole entire season, that we were contenders for the national championship. And I think that's, when I think back to that season, that is the thing that I think about the most, is just our belief and how hard we worked the whole time. We didn't take our foot off the gas at all.
Well, you mentioned you're going to have a lot of your 2015 teammates back this weekend as well, and the team will be getting honored as well as your jersey and your number 5 jersey being retired. How cool is it to just be getting honored with your team as well, and know that you're going to see a lot of familiar faces and see a lot of your teammates this weekend?
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm really happy about it. I think the celebration for the national championship was something that was already kind of in the works of being planned, and then they added in my jersey retirement as well. So it means a lot to me to be able to do it along with the girls that I was playing with there in Syracuse. It means a lot to be there and to get to celebrate our team accomplishment as well, and to have them there is really nice.
I have one more question just about that season and how you experienced it. You guys go 21-1, and as I mentioned, that lone loss was to North Carolina in the ACC championship, and then you get them in the national championship. They're number 1 in the country. You just lost to them a few weeks prior. Can you speak to, I guess, the preparation for that game and the mindset, and what allowed you guys to, I guess, atone for that loss and beat them when it mattered most?
Yeah, I think after we had lost the ACC tournament, it obviously it stung really deep, because we would have loved to have gone with a perfect season, but we just kind of regrouped and we let that match fuel us, and we were like, this is not going to happen again. So again, like, the belief was just it was such a huge part of that team that when we found out that we were going to be meeting up with them again in the final, we had so much belief. We didn't doubt ourselves that we couldn't win it. So that really stood to us, I think, throughout the whole entire season. And then that match in particular, that we were able to play free, which was really nice. So we played a really good game of hockey.
Field hockey national champion Alyssa Manley, who will get her number 5 jersey retired this weekend, is with us here on Orange Nation. And you talked about how it's the first time that you're going to be back in a little bit, and you're excited to be back on campus with some of your teammates. What do you miss most about Syracuse, and what are the spots that are high on your list that you really want to get to on campus or even off campus now that you're coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited just to walk around campus. I lived on campus the whole time I was there, so I'll probably go through South Campus as well, go through all the apartments and stuff just to see it again. And then I'm excited to be, I know it's not Manley Fieldhouse anymore, but I'm excited to be back in the sports complex and back at Coyne. And then Syracuse is spoiled with good food, so I'm really excited to go back and hit up some of the restaurants that are still there from when I was in college, like Recess Coffee. I think I spent almost every single day there, at least the last 2 years of me being in Syracuse, so I'll definitely be making a stop there.
Alyssa, how much do you, stay in touch with the current team, and how much do you kind of pay attention to what's going on? They're off to a 6-2 start this year, highly ranked after 3 straight ranked wins to open up the season. How much do you pay attention to how they're doing?
Yeah, I follow them on Instagram, so I'm always keeping track, like, day to day through their Instagram page, but I check in on the scores and stuff. Living in Ireland, it's a little more difficult to watch the matches. So I'm not always able to see them, but I always go back and look for the highlights and stuff. But I try to keep up to date as much as I can with the season, not just like this season, but basically since I've graduated. I'm really happy to support Syracuse field hockey. It brought me so much joy, and yeah, it's great to see them and their success. They're doing really well this year, and even the 2 matches they lost, like, those were so close, and they have it in them as well.
Well, you mentioned you're living in Ireland right now. Catch us up to date on what you've been doing since you graduated, and since we knew you as a national champion. For all the Orange fans, what have you been up to, and what has you living out in Ireland right now?
So after Syracuse, I played for the U.S. team for 5 years, and then shortly after that, and also at Syracuse, I met my wife, Elaine, who also was playing hockey. So she's from Ireland. So back in 2020, when COVID hit, we had been doing long distance for a few years. So that was first what brought me over. But Ireland is such a beautiful country. Irish people they're so nice. They're very kind. So I'm really enjoying living here. It's much smaller than like Syracuse and living in the U.S. and being from Pennsylvania, but it's such a beautiful country. I definitely recommend, if anyone's coming to Europe, come to Ireland. And I live in Galway, and it's such a beautiful city.
Well, Alyssa, the weather here, it looks perfect for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So at least we got that going for you. Have a safe trip back to the States, and we look forward to seeing you Friday night and Saturday inside the Dome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks for coming on, and congrats again on the honor. Alyssa Manley, our guest here on the show. She will be honored with the jersey retirement Friday during the Syracuse-Duke field hockey game. I believe it's a 6 o'clock start on Friday, and then she will be recognized along with the 2015 national champs during the second quarter of the football game inside the Dome between Syracuse and Duke on Saturday.
And field hockey is on ACC Network on Friday. So if you want to watch that, you can. I'm sure they'll have a lot of chatter throughout the broadcast about Alyssa, and they should. It's pretty awesome to see that she will be back this weekend. And
that 2015 team, they were the first women's team to win a national title in school history. So that's something that can never be taken away from them. And if we remember, too, that was the cross-country team won the national title that year. So the men's cross-country, the women won field hockey within the span of, it was like the same weekend, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Much, yeah.
I believe it was the same weekend that they both won.
And cross-country will be honored this weekend as well, the 2015 national championship team. So a whole lot of national championship teams back inside the Dome.
Yeah, the cross-country team will be honored inside the Dome as well, I believe, during the third quarter of the football game, if I'm not mistaken. So a different part of the game, but they'll be in the house as well. So a lot going on. It's going to be a packed house Saturday for Syracuse and Duke. And you mentioned, Tim, the point spread keeps going up.
Yeah, I think it's at 6 right now. Duke is 6-point favorite. So maybe we can talk about that when we get back. Yeah.
All right, let's hit a timeout here. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next. We'll check in with Lee Baldwin on the market, and then we'll get to hour number 2. You're listening to Orange Nation on ESPN Radio.